Hello, guys. How do you feel today? I hope that everything is okay on this amazing Thursday. So, as you can see, it's just missing to explain which is the lesson B of the unit 11. So, we will be finishing today this unit. The title of this lesson B, as you can see here in this photo, is Who Do You Trust? So do you have that person? Who's that person that you trust the most? Okay, like for example, your mother, or your best friend, or your girlfriend, or your wife. So who is that person that you trust? Okay, so you are going to tell me below in the comments who's the person that you trust the most. Okay, so we are going to go right ahead to the language summary of this um, part of this lesson B. Let me just open it up. There you go. Okay, so here we have, whoa, the first word is the is one of the words that I use the most. Actually, okay, so actually, I think that you already know what is that, right? When they say that, it's like actual, like right now. Um, so that is an expression also that you can say. All right, so the other one is catch. Catch someone. When you catch someone, it's like that you see the person doing something, like maybe eating the cake from the refrigerator, right, from the fridge. And that you go there and, hey, I caught you. What are you doing? And you just want to say, que batida. All right. So counting on, counting on. There is a song of Bruno Mars that is "Count on Me." So when somebody tells you, I'm counting on you, all right, is that person is, in this case, that person trust in you, what you are doing, okay? So when somebody tells you that, please, oh, so when somebody tells you that, please don't not make them feel embarrassed or disappointed, okay? But in fact, is also another phrase that we use to say, for example, uh, like the opposite of something. If I say, let me give you a sentence so you can understand. Um, I thought that this was easy or simple. I thought that this was simple, but in fact, it is very difficult. Okay, so you are showing like the contrast of what you're saying at the beginning in the first part. The other one is have confidence in. When you have confidence in, it's like that you trust, like the same. Most of these words, all of them, they are pretty similar. Okay, so in reality, okay, it is similar to but in fact. When you say but in reality, I have. Um, For example, if you say, I am an English teacher, but in reality, okay, I am an engineer, industrial engineer. Okay, so you are saying the contrast also of something. Keep my world. Keep my world is when you say something, you promise that, all right? Keep your word when you say that you are going to do it, okay? If you say, I am going to get a 100 in the next test coming up, so keep your word, okay? Work hard so you can get it. Make excuses. Oof. Uh, I think that a lot of people used to do this. They are just excusing. Oh, I couldn't do this. Oh, so sorry for this. They are just excusing. Try not to make excuses, okay? Do what you do, keep your word, so you wouldn't have to excuse a lot. Um, think, trick people is that it says, so when you trick a person, it's like that you cheated, right? You cheat on her or on him. And for example, the magician, I don't know if you know the magicians, right? And the only thing that they do is that they trick the people. They do, for example, with with cards or with a coin. They can do magic or something like that, but they are just tricking you. The truth is, okay, the truth is something that you must say. Trust, okay, trust is the verb, okay, similar to truth, but in this case is when you don't say a lie, alright, is similar to truth. I trust in you, like I have confidence in you. Trustworthy and trustful, that they are similar, so they are synonym, both of them. A trustworthy, the two of them are adjective. Okay, so a trustworthy person, that is a reliable, a person you can rely on, okay, and that is confident. All right, sorry. So in this case, trustful, that is also the same. Turn to, okay, turn to, in this case, this is a start to do something. That is the meaning of it. Other one, this is the last, white lie. We say, oh, but it's just a white lie, okay? That you are saying when it's not something that is going to affect you a lot, is considered as a white lie. All right, so that was the vocabulary. Remember, you have the glossary. I used to do this so you can just listen the pronunciation of each word, but you are supposed to study all of these glossary and the meanings, in where you will be watching different also sentences that you can create. Okay, so going back into this part, let me see. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so this is an exercise that we have using this vocabulary, the same one. So you have here in this chart, you're gonna have to put A, B, C, or etc. Okay, according to each definition that they have. So, for example, we have dependable, honest, do what you say you will do, rely on, and believe in. The same thing here, you have a quiz that in this case you have to complete accordingly to your information. Okay, so same thing happens with the listening. Look, do you think the boy is telling the truth to his father? What do you think? Oh my gosh, let me close this. All right, so it is up to you, this part. Here we have a reading, the kindness of strangers. Something that you can do, guys, to develop your reading and pronunciation skills. And like I told you, this is the grammar of the lesson B, reported statements with say and tell. Okay, so I'm gonna play the video for you first. Pay attention to it.
Reported statements with that. Quoted speech uses a person's exact words. It uses the verb say and quotation marks.
Quoted speech. I'm tired, he said.
Reported speech is used to report what someone else has said without using the person's exact words.
Quoted speech. I'm tired. Reported speech. He said he was tired.
Verb tenses and pronouns can change in reported speech. The use of the word that is optional.
Quoted speech. I'm going to call your dad. Reported speech. She said that she was going to call my dad. She said she was going to call my dad.
We can also use tell in reported statements. Tell is followed by an object pronoun.
Quoted speech. You won. Reported speech. He told me that I'd won.
The verb tense often doesn't change when you're reporting recent news.
I smell smoke. Mr. Lee just said we have to leave the building.
The form of should typically doesn't change in reported statements.
Quoted speech. You should stay in school. Reported speech. He said that I should stay in school.
Okay, very good. So I left the video run just so you can see, and maybe if you want to do a clip from it. So this is something, guys, here that is a little bit more difficult than the previous reported speech that we had. Before we were just using the reported speech in the present. So here we have say and tell. That is the first thing you have to identify, okay? For example, let me go to page 215 so you can get a better, more clear idea. So you know that in the quoted speech it is what the person says, okay? Or in the normal part, for example, I am. If I say I am a honest person. So the reported speech is when somebody reply or says to another what I was saying, okay? For example, if I say, guys, I am an honest person, okay? So in this case, you're gonna have to say the teacher or he said, okay, that he was an honest person. All right, so there is a part here that you need to know when we are going to be using the tense, the different tense. If I say it in the present, you are going to use the simple past in the verb to be. If you see I am, in the reported speech says he was. If I say like this, for example, normal, without using verb to be, that is I trust you. So he said that he trusts me. If we say it in negative, using the, as you know, the auxiliary do, I don't believe you. Okay, so in simple past the same. So this is the same. He didn't because it's the past, remember, in the auxiliary. But what happened here? When we use the present continuous, I am leaving. Okay, so when in a reported speech we are going to say this sentence, you need to use, in this case, the past continuous. Okay, so present continuous, past continuous. He was leaving, so you only have to change the verb to be from am to was. Another one, you lied to me. If I say that, in this case, in simple past, in the quoted speech, they say, you lied to me. All right, so what are you going to use here? So you're going to use the past perfect. The past perfect, you know that is the auxiliary have in the past, had, plus the, in this case, the main verb in past participle. So if I say, you lied to me, you will say, he said that I had lied to him. Okay, so this is, you have, if you want, you can do like a table in order you can practice when which in this case then is going to be used. Another one is I will call you tomorrow. Here we have the future will, right? So when in the quoted speech you listen the person saying I will call you tomorrow, when you're going to report that, you have to say, in this case, would. This is even easier because, you know, if you see will, you need to use would. He would call me tomorrow. If we use the present perfect, Present perfect, you know, is have plus the verb in the past participle. Here he said, we've never met. If this happened, this case, you're going to have to use, right, as you see, also the past, not the present, okay? You're going to use the past perfect. He had never met. When we have some modal verbs like may, must, shouldn't, okay? So you know that if it's may, what is in this case the past of this one? I may be late. So instead of this, you can say might. He might be late. You must work harder. When you have the modal verb must, we are going to say had to. Okay? I had to work harder. And there is one that doesn't change, is the easiest one, that is should. When you say you shouldn't talk to strangers, so he told me that I shouldn't talk to strangers. All right? So this is the tenses that we have to use. Okay? So in the quoted speech, just to review, the quoted speech uses a person's exact word. I trust you, said Phil. You can report what other person has said using say or tell. In the reported speech, the verb tense typically shift to a past form. As you see, should usually does not change, that is here, doesn't change, and the pronouns change from I, okay, when they say, if somebody says, I trust you, so you say, Phil said that he trusts me. So that is the only thing that changed, the pronoun. You shouldn't talk to strangers. So he told me that because he's talking to me. All right, so the word that is that, you know, as always, in the parentheses, is optional. So you can obvious this part if you want, and just skip it. So he told me I shouldn't, or he said I shouldn't talk to strangers. So you can, in this case, obvious this part. Now, there is an exercise here where you have to find and correct the error in each sentences, okay? So please, you just have to read carefully in order to identify it. Now, there are different exercises that help you out with, in this case, doing this, that you can complete it. Also, there are a lot of videos on YouTube that they explain you about the reported speech with say and tell, okay? What are the differences and all that. So I would like, please, that you watch a video that I'm going to attach, or I think it is attached already in the, oh yes, I did it. So it's here, look. Say and tell reported speech, this part here. It tells you when will you say, when will you tell, okay? So well, let me see if I can give you an example. Wait a moment. All right, so for example, guys, we say and tell. I think that you must know already this when we were talking about the reported speech. So the difference between them, say, okay, say it is used in this case to repeat, for example, in the exact words what another person say. For example, I am an honest person. Okay, so if you're going to report that, you need to use he said that he was an honest person. But tell is when somebody is telling to you. Okay, for example, if I tell you, you like the last, you must work harder. okay, your English. So in this case, that is that the person is telling exactly to you. So for those things, we have to say tell, okay? Because fulano told me, okay, told me that I had to work harder, okay? So if we are going to use say in that sentence, I'm gonna have to say fulano said to me. So I have to add the word to. Said to me this that I have to do, right? So it's not commonly used in those cases. When somebody tell to you something, you have to use tell, okay? He told me that I have to do the dishes. Okay, so that is the difference where you can, it's pretty easy to make those difference between say and tell. All right, but what I need you that you focus more is in which tense and they change it. If we use simple present, you know that it changed to simple past. All right, if it's in the negative, it doesn't matter. It changed the auxiliary to from do to didn't. If you use simple past, you're gonna have to use in this case the past perfect. If I use will, you're going to use in the reported would. If I use present perfect, okay, you have to use the same. So, but not the same. In this case, the past perfect. If I use may, I have to say might. Must, I have to use how to. If I use should, it's the same. So should, it doesn't change that one. And that is it, guys. So practice a lot this grammar because it can be a little bit confusing. All right, that's why I am explaining a lot. Try please to work on it. So actually, again, so that was everything for today. I hope you could understand this class. Remember, even more you work, okay, as more as you work, it will be even better for you to understand later. So see you in the next time.